Well, good morning once again. It is now 5:13 and taking a look at your forecast on this Friday. Again, it is a cold start, but we are going to have some warmer weather on the way. But first, let's kick off things with a nice fall photo. This was sent in by Benjamin Burnett. This is over Suck Creek. You can see the colors in the background reflecting off this puddle right here. You'll love to see it. We have more photos that we'll show throughout the morning, so be sure to stay tuned. And of course, you can send in your photos as well to Local 3 News, and would like to feature you throughout the week into the weekend. As for your temperatures this morning, it's cold once again, so we can't quite get rid of that chill just yet. I promise you, warmer days are on the way, but for now it's still pretty cold out there. 37 in Chattanooga, but notice these greens and yellows, that's warmer air. This is going to find its way into the Tennessee Valley as we move into this weekend, which is certainly good news, especially if you're not a fan of the cold, because every morning we've been waking up to sub-freezing temperatures across much of the area, 32 in Dayton, 32 in Dalton, so this morning no exception. And if you're in Blue Ridge and Murphy especially, you're going to want the heavier jacket as temperatures have dropped back into the mid-20s once again. So as we take a look at the school day forecast, first bell 37 degrees here in Chattanooga, but there will be plenty of sunshine. And as you're heading home from school, you might not even need the jacket anymore, as we're going to warm up pretty nicely to right at 67 degrees. In some areas we'll even hit 70, so not so bad for your Friday, but no rain once again. In fact, we'll barely have any cloud cover. A lot of blue skies today as this high pressure continues to slide off to the northeast. That's going to control our weather throughout the weekend, which means pretty much no rain chances in the short term. So as we track it all out for you, again, winds are going to return from the south throughout the weekend. That's going to pull in that warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico. So not only is it going to be a little bit warmer, it's going to be more humid. With that being said, it's not going to be anything like the summer, but you'll definitely be able to notice the difference after a really dry and cold week for us as we go into your Sunday. Still not a whole lot to talk about, just a couple of passing clouds. Now going into next week, that's probably going to be our best chance of rain. Monday's going to stay dry, and now it looks like Tuesday may stay dry as well. So earlier in the week, we were thinking Tuesday, probably our best chance of rain, but it looks like the cold front that's going to be swinging through is actually going to come in a little bit later, and it's also trending a little bit drier, which means we're not going to have a ton of rain with this, and we sure could use it. It's been very dry over the last really 2 months or so. We just haven't had a ton of rain, but it does look like at least on Wednesday we may get a little bit of relief. But notice this rain going to be pretty light, so not going to be very impactful, and not expecting any severe weather. And for now, I'm only going to keep it at about a 30% chance for Wednesday. Now that may bump up a little bit if we get a better idea and some model agreements later in the week, but for now, just not looking too wet as we move forward. And like I mentioned earlier, we really could use the rain, because this is the latest drought monitor that was issued yesterday. And that little strip right there of orange from Athens down into Cleveland and parts of Hamilton County, that's a severe drought. So definitely not good news there. We certainly could use the rain. The ground is bone dry. Also have moderate droughts from Chattanooga all the way into western North Carolina, including much of North Georgia. So those drought conditions really starting to expand all across the Tennessee Valley, all because we haven't had a whole lot of rain the last month or so. In fact, we're running a nearly 2-inch deficit for October. We ran an inch deficit for September. We're still running a yearly surplus, but over the last couple of weeks, it's just been so dry, and that's certainly causing some issues. So hopefully next week we get a little bit more rain to kind of ease those drought conditions just a bit. But if you are looking for something to do this weekend, like I mentioned with the Futurecast, not going to be tracking any rain, and the Mocs are in town playing Mercer. Big game there. Temperatures are going to be in the 50s in the morning. Again, kickoff at 1:30, so if you're going to be doing some tailgating, it's going to be really nice. 50s climbing into the 60s, and eventually by that 1:30 kickoff, temperatures will climb into the 70s. So really going to be a nice weekend, a nice Friday. So just a good start to everything as highs reach the 70s a little bit later. As for tonight, 44 and mostly clear. And for your next 7 days, beautiful weekend. You really couldn't ask for better weather. Temperatures climbing into the mid 70s, upper 70s Monday into Tuesday, maybe even 80 degrees. Who knows? It's possible. And then a few showers possible on Wednesday. So really not much in the way of rain chances, guys. But you know, if you have any weekend plans, I know there's a lot of fall festivals. Things are looking a-okay weather-wise.